This is contemporary context. I've decided to put together some short and raw video footage just so that we can see the evidence of my work in my sketchbooks, and to see a little bit of the creativity that we don't always get to see. Usually we just get to see the blog with final samples, or not so much the rawness of our studies. Now I'm going to demonstrate colour and trend forecasting and just give you a brief idea of the journey to the final outcome of learning for this subject matter. Now here we can see this is an early sketchbook with lots of ideas, imagery and so forth. And this was the introduction of where to start a trend, how to obtain a colour palette, how to achieve this, and the process to finally produce a colour and trend book and colour and trend boards. Now, as we can see already, there's lots of experimentation going on. Lots of photographic evidence, which I think is important to keep photographs for future reference. And also as well, I'm a little bit of a magpie. I do like to collect things along the way. And also as well, there's lots of experimentation with it being textile based. What the assignment achieved for me was how to view colour and how to experiment with colour and how to select colour through various wording, topics and experimentation. And as we can see, there's plenty of inventive work going on, which I think is very, very good for, making stimulative ideas for the future as well as for the present assignment. And also I think engages very, very well with the topic of the assignment, so that there is a flow to the work. As we progressed from colour palettes, experimenting and mixed media, this then gave me the confidence to start to produce imagery with mood boards and a combination of colour. And this did really give me the understanding of how trends and forecasting work, with the use of words, topics, various types of imagery, as we can see, various types of colour, as we can see, and also experimenting with colour and putting colours together in a mixed media format to make them visually stimulating, as the final outcome of this assignment was then to produce 3 trend books. One would be based on the use of words that I refined and worked with in a thought process. One was called Metamorphosis, one was called Opulent Invention, and the third was Obsolete Time Machine, and these originally came from photographs from the Guardian newspaper. Now, as we continue, we will see the first of one of my colour and trend forecasting books. This one in particular is called Metamorphosis, and basically I just played with the idea of images and colour, with the idea of how colour can change, how objects can change, how shades of colour can change. As here we can see the red and the green, and we can also see collage imagery generating the use of the word metamorphosis. The second trend book is Opulent Invention. And this followed the same sort of principle with using words, imagery, statements of what I considered opulent invention could be, and the colour palette. As we can see again, mixed media to demonstrate the colours of the palette to make it as opulent as possible, and photographic work refining the colour palette, different shades of colour, and anything through the development that I considered that resembled opulence. The third of my trend books was Obsolete Time Machine. This was a particular favourite of mine, and again I broke down colour palettes and with the use of texture and strong imagery to try and demonstrate the words of Opulent Time Machine. Now, my learning outcome on the colour and trend work was a very exciting journey. It led from using an imagery, thinking of words that would reflect that imagery, selecting colours, selecting a colour palette, making a refinement, and using objects that would stimulate the words to produce the trend book.